Look at this beautiful machine right here. Need to put a little bit of fuel in her. And there's my wing. Normally I don't have to walk this far away. It's been a while since we've had a north wind. Yeah, so there she is. So here she is. Liberty paramotor with a 154 hoop, 140 prop. This is the Polini 303 with a 2.8 reduction for the 140 prop. This is like a slalom racing frame, so it's got the adjustable torque compensation that goes side to side. So if you put a different motor on, you can change that. Or if you just, depending on what power setting you fly at, especially for something like a 303, you can really fine tune how much torque compensation you want. So, and then along with this torque compensation, you can move these up and down, which allows to change like if you the thrust angle, the thrust vector. So if you add power, you can have it force you down, which therefore forces the glider to fly at a faster airspeed. Come on, baby. Alright, here we go. Look at that moon. Wow, it looks full. Beautiful. Look at the fog. Alright, here we go. Into the noon of the fog. Did you guys ever watch that movie, The Fog? That movie scared me as a kid. I can't remember even what it was about. I just remember like these monsters came out when the fog came. I think they were like pirates or something. Anyway, it scared me as a kid. It always made me like afraid of fog. But as you can see, the Viper 5, she moves, boy. This is a full bar and trimmed to the green line, which is basically the whole speed range, fully accelerated here. And I'm just putting my hands on the top of the brake so I can still tip steer, and then yank brakes if I was to need to pull them for whatever reason. So the average airspeed fully accelerated on this wing for me, being at 18 meter, and pretty heavily loaded since I'm on this 303, is 54, 55 miles per hour. And I checked that into the wind and downwind, averaged them multiple times. So it's pretty freaking fast. As far as trimmed in speed, the trimmed in speed is 21, 22 miles per hour, and that's without brakes applied. So the wing, it's definitely going to be a great pylon racer. It's only a 3-liner A, B, and C, and comes with the brakes a little bit long. I was kind of reluctant to jump on speed bar pretty quick because I adjusted the brakes. I took those bungee pulleys off, which I can't stand, and I moved the pulleys down to the lowest possible point so I can push out. So I can push out with my brakes, and then do tip steering. Yeah, that's kind of how I like to fly.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, boy, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
So yeah, I was able to get this Liberty paramotor for him because I like the way the torque compensation and the adjustable height of the arms, and man, I've been really happy with it overall. So first we had a moster on here. I was kind of motorless for a little while because I sold my 202, and finally was able to get a 303. So I slapped that 303 on here, and holy moly. Wow, look at that.
You know, when I see a car like this, first thing I do is I say, would you look at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
We did a cross country the other day. Look at the skater right here. He's a relatively big one. Let's check the gator out here. Kind of want to foot drag him a little bit. I am out here by myself with no flotation. Probably should be smarter if I would just stay to the edge. Yeah, I think we'll just stay away. Stay closer to the edge and try not to foot drag any gators today. I'm just kidding. I've never foot dragged a alligator. Anyone? Wink, wink. Let's get down here. Let's foot drag this water over here. It's too beautiful with this sunrise. The fog. Another beautiful. Oh, there's a gator that jumped in right next to me as I touched down. It's another beautiful morning here in Lake Wales, Florida, man. It just doesn't get old. Look at this dragonfly. Oh, toast. It doesn't get old here for some reason. It's just beautiful. Oh, here's a gator right next to the edge. Here's a tiny one though. He saw me coming. So, okay, 303. Who's it for? I would say it is, ooh, a little bit of rotor there. 303, it's for people that are going to be on a trike. I would not recommend this to anyone foot launching, although I'm not trying to toot my own horn and, you know, like, I foot launched it, you know, I can fly because I'm good. I mean, you can foot launch it if you're, first of all, skilled, and second of all, have some strength, because it's not just the weight of the motor, it's also the fact that it's got an insane amount of torque. So you're going to need a frame that can really compensate all that extra torque, especially on climb out. And I've only got the 140 prop. I can imagine a 150 or a 160 being even more crazy. Obviously, you need a different gear reduction. You need the 3.2 for that. It's getting kind of bumpy over here. So yeah, I would not recommend it for a foot launch pilot unless you're an extremely skilled pilot looking to do pylon racing or you know, really power on aerobatics that you're already kind of doing anyway. This is not someone trying to get into aerobatics. It's someone that's already been doing it or already been pylon racing. This is not a motor for learning. I can tell you that much. The other person it's for is for a trike guy that's really big, and I'm saying like 260, 270 pounds. Tons of power, so it's gonna be great for you. If you are doing tandems, that's the other use, and this is a great tandem motor for sure. I don't do tandems on Moster 185s anymore, unless they're like 150, maybe 160, 70 pounds. I'm 220 as it is. I'm 6'4", 220, and so for me, I don't want to push the edge of the envelope. I want that extra room for air in case I need to climb quickly. And just because I've taken 250, 260 pound guys up in a Moster, and it's difficult. But yeah, the 303 in combination with a great tandem wing like a Triox, a 38, or a maybe even a 41, 42 Triox, which I've heard they're making, and then the Swiftmax 41. Holy moly, that's going to be a lot of fun. Hitting my own weight turbulence here. And downwind, it looks like. Ooh, there's some sync. But yeah, that's what it's for. We currently use the Eco, the Flight Products Eco, which has a RMZ 500, which is basically the Russian version of the Rotex 503. And it's too much power, really. It burns a ton of gas, and it's just basically too much power. But that makes it very fun. I actually flew it. That's what I flew in the Paradigm Performance at Sun and Fun, and I did some wing overs and a barrel roll. Ultimately, what ended up happening was the trim slid out all the way, and I had to abort my aerobatic run and just did smaller wing overs and like wheel drag stuff. Yeah, but like I said, the 503, RMZ 500 is just way overkill, even for a tandem. You can take 300-pound people up that and still have too much power, it feels like. At that point, you're really overloading the wing. And yeah, this is the best compromise all the way around. And with these new Liberty paramotor trikes that are coming, I'm super excited to play with my motor on both of the trikes. It's you just bolt it on the lightweight trike, and it's super small. You can kind of push the front wheel around, and ooh, I just almost hit the gator there on accident. I didn't even see it. You can basically just super lightweight frame. You just bolt the paramotor directly on the trike and trike launch that day. And, you know, like, I don't care what anyone says. I used to think the same thing. Like, triking takes the whole fun out of paramotoring, but that's not true. I thought that as well. I was like, if I was going to do a trike, I would just get an airplane or something, right? But first of all, general aviation is expensive, even for experimentals, because you still got to do annuals, and that stuff is expensive. You got to get a pilot's license. You can't fly down low like this, even with an experimental. I mean, that's against the regulations. You can't be flying at 500 feet below, you know, AGL. Like this. I'm not here foot dragging water. And you can't do that in a plane unless you're in an ultralight airplane. And then, you know, there's that, but you're still in a cockpit. There's nothing like this where you're out here in it. Someone said it really well the other day. If, what is it? If flying an airplane is flying, then riding in a boat is swimming. Think about that. If flying in an airplane is flying, then riding in a boat is swimming. And that's a really good point. You're not out there in it. You're not in an open cockpit like this, down low, cruising through the trees. Like, this is magical. This is intimate, and there's just nothing quite like it. And so general aviation and airplanes in general, even the ultralights, just aren't the same as this. And I completely got sidetracked on what I was even talking about. Oh, yeah, okay. But yeah, back to the subject of the trikes. Like, that's what I thought too. I thought trikes, if I was going to fly a trike, why wouldn't I just do airplanes or something, like an ultralight? But that's not the case. You can still get these trikes where you're, like the ultralight trike, like the Liberty has, that I'm going to be using, has, you can still use your swing arms. It's still articulating arms, still super lightweight, so you can fly the same wing that you've been flying. And it just makes it easier to launch and land, basically. Once you've acquired the skills of trike, and really trike is pretty easy. It's a little harder on a smaller trike because it's less forgiving, but in zero wind, man, it's easy and it's fun because you don't have to worry about picking up a giant motor and hiking back and forth. You just sit down in the seat, add some power, you know, get under the wing, steer the dip, and get control of it and take off. Same with landings. You can still do some really cool stuff. You can go out and do aerobatics on a giant trike that's heavy, has high hang points. Not quite as fun, but it's still doable. Now, you do it in a trike like this Liberty paramotor with light weight, it's just the same thing as foot launching. So, yeah, don't let anyone tell you that trikes are boring or dumb, because they aren't. They're still just as fun. Let's come over here and shoot the gap. We'll play and mine the gap. Mine the gap. Jump up bar. Yeah, it's gonna take some practice to get used to this wing. It's just different than my free ride. Not bad, it's in a good way. It's just so efficient. God, look at that, it's so beautiful. This wing is just so efficient in terms of lift. Like if you put any extra energy into the past trim speed, it just wants to balloon. And it makes pretty hard swoop landings. Not that it's undoable, it's just different and gonna take some time to get used to. But the trim speed is astounding. The free ride's fast, but this PK system, I love that you can trim wherever you want, super slow, and still get all the trim speed out of it. Alright, pop quiz. Where am I landing if I have a motor out? I could probably make it back over there, however that's where the wind's coming from, so I'd probably shoot for right over here and just call somebody to come get me. Hike it over to the road. Just always thinking about where I'm going to be landing before I cross stuff. Let's go say what's up to the water tower. It's been a little while since I've been visiting my favorite water tower. Oh, it's actually kind of windy. Holy moly, look at this flag. Probably start heading back. Alright, pop quiz. I'm going to have a motor out now. Where am I going? Boom! Off bar, off power. I had a motor out coming over here. I don't think I could circle it back around. Oh, no, I can. Yeah, I can circle it back around for a swoop landing here. Let's just see what that would look like. Look at Bald Eagle. Bald Eagle's nest over here. Yep, there's my landing right there. Boom. I'm not going to because the 303 is heavy and I just got adjusted. The chiropractor just adjusted me, so I don't feel like throwing it back out. Hence, getting old. What's up, water tower? City of Lake Wales, buddy. Yeah, okay, so I am definitely penetrating. I'm probably making 10 miles, 12 miles per hour, 14 miles per hour maybe, guessing. I could pull my phone out and look, but I just honestly don't care. Wind is definitely picked up. I still see Fletch over there though. Fletch is still flying, so hopefully my video is still recording. What did I not cover? I like the new helmet. What I'm hoping is that the audio quality turns out. I do know that whenever I key up the mic and record audio from that, it sounds good. So I've turned on side tone, and basically it should be full time now. And then I turned down the gain or something, not the gain, something, the wind noise reduction, which takes away from the music, but I will change that all back when I'm flying normal. Because normally if you're going to be flying, or at least I'm going to be flying, I'm not going to be listening to music, I'm going to be concentrating on what I'm supposed to say. I'm not someone that really likes to vlog or do these kind of videos, but I have had a lot of questions asking me about my helmet and my micro avionics headset, my Liberty paramotor, my 303, the Viper 5. So why not address them all in the same video? And by the way, I did get some matching Solomon red shoes for my wing, so I did nerd out like that. And I can only fly my Viper whenever I wear the red shoes. Yeah, it's gotten pretty windy. Fletch and Sid are calling it. Hopefully it's good all week. I got tandems to do all week for people. Do a little swoop to Fletch here. See what it looks like. Alright, so I'm at about half the altitude of what I normally swoop at. I surprised Fletch, he never saw me coming. Well, you know what's going to be nice is landing in this wind. I'll tell you that much. It seems like every time I go fly the Viper, it's zero wind landings. And the landings that I've had, I end up doing my typical thing on my free ride where I kind of swoop down, build up a bunch of energy, foot drag for 100, 150 feet. And I start to pull my pressure where I normally do, and it's just not time yet. I got to hold off a little bit longer. I end up ballooning a little bit. And and then I'll lose my footing from my foot drag, lean back, and then I'll like have to run it out. And I'm pretty sure that's why I had to go get adjusted the other day. Just landing with all this weight on my back. It's not very fun. So landings you would think would be pretty forgiving, but it's not super intuitive. You got to bleed the energy off a lot longer than you do a free ride. It's kind of hard to wing bump someone on a Mojo, especially the old Mojos, when I'm on the Viper. She does, I guess I could have trimmed in, huh? Oh well. He's like, no, not today. Well, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed flying and talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is gear. I've always been a gear junkie, no matter what hobby it is. I've had a lot of hobbies. This is what we call our little foot drag pond right here. It's always got this layer of like pond scum on it. So we come down and throw lines down in it. Oh, look at the gator. Just chilling out right here. Kind of hiding out. Yeah, if there's water in Florida, you can imagine there's at least one gator in it, no matter what size of the water. And to be honest with you, when I first saw it, it looked sketchy and stupid. It looked like a lawnmower or something. But once I saw the titanium and the carbon fiber, I was like, okay, I get it. This is what I need. That's sick. And which leads me full circle back to being a gear junkie. 303 power, baby. That's 303 power. Woo! Yeah. One of the cool things about this motor, I guess I should talk about some of the specs real quick, is the fuel efficiency. I'm burning about the same as the Moster, 6 liters per hour, and that's flying aggressively. So the fuel efficiency is really good for how much power it provides on demand. The things I complain about, it's hard to start. I thought it was because I was flooding it, but that's clearly not the case. It's just hard to frickin' start. I think it's almost like you gotta warm it up slightly before it even cranks. I wish I would have got E-Start regardless of how much extra it weighs. I think it's only like 7 extra pounds or 6 extra pounds. It would have been totally worth it. Just because I'm so exhausted by the time I finally get it started. And I think that's probably why. If I had E-Start, it'd be so much easier regardless of how much heavier it is. Especially if I put on this new Liberty Paramotor trike. These guys over here have been sod farming. So that's pretty much my only complaint, is that the weight of it and how hard it is to start. The weight, I mean, that's to be expected, especially for the power. The power to weight ratio that I have now is astounding. But that's such a cool feeling. I can basically power loop this thing. I haven't committed to that yet, but I'll insert a video and show you here. While I swoop down to these guys doing some sod farming. Look at all the sandhill cranes. They're all here for the bugs. They're not super impressed. He's waving. Look at all these sandhill cranes, boy. Look at them all.
Look at this. Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at this.
Beautiful. The sandhill cranes are like, I really like them. They're very inquisitive birds. Like, they'll come up to you and chill out and basically trying to figure out who you are, what's going on. I've been able to get them into the school before. We have 2 that come back every year. Their names are Kona and Viper. And the cool thing about these birds is they mate for life. So once they find a partner, they stay together for life. I think that's pretty cool.
You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, boy, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
That wasn't so bad. Well, that was a fun morning. I hope you enjoyed the video. Got a quick, about an hour-long flight there. Did a little bit of talking. Actually, a lot of talking. That was a nice morning. Got a little windy there, huh?